All right, question number one about forming this new book is the 7 core principles of Ohana Connect. Where does it come from? How did I embody it? Was I taught this by a specific person? How was I taught these belief systems? And what does that matter to Ohana Connect and to everybody? So first off, Ohana means family. It means way more than just surface level of what family means. It means anything that unifies together, really. It's a spiritual coming together. It's more than just, you don't even need to be blood to be Ohana. You could be adopted into a village, which is now your Ohana. Similar language might be tribe, but more at a spiritual level versus physical level. It never has to look a certain way. It can always be all of us together as one unit. Togetherness is a closer word. That's the embodiment of it. So I grew up in Hawaii. So this is where all these principles, these 7 principles of Ohana connect, where it all came from. I grew up there for 18 years. And I've studied and have many family friends here in the big US, California, Utah, across the different states that are indigenous Native American principles. Or you'll find that indigenous Hawaiian, indigenous Native American are extremely similar. Cousins at best, but extremely similar. Same paradigms. And so I've been to many lodges, like sweat lodge, ceremonies, powwows. I grew up dancing. I grew up chanting. I grew up dancing multiple cultures in the Polynesian cultures, singing ukulele, sing our own songs. The upbringing that I had came from LDS Mormon. I was adopted from Tahiti into a Hawaiian family. And my Hawaiian family in Hawaii, North Shore, was LDS Mormon. And so I grew up in there. And if you've studied LDS Mormonism, it's also huge on family. Huge on family. And then if you study just Polynesian culture in general, it's huge on family. Same thing with Hispanic backgrounds. Huge on family. So it's pretty easy to see where the 7 core principles comes from. People in my life, probably my mom, my dad in Hawaii, and my community that I grew up in Hawaii probably taught me the most of what Ohana is. Ohana is. It had nothing to do with economic class. We grew up. We grew up poor, really, but you never noticed anybody was poor because everybody was. And so me and my brother, we slept on a spring mattress on the floor. We never had a bed, a headboard. We had one tiny rotating fan. To keep that room cool was open up your windows, and that was it. We went to swap meet to get our school clothes, 5 for $20 shirts, all Hawaiian print. We grew up with pork and beans and rice. My mom would chop hot dogs and scramble eggs and rice, and that was the best thing in the world. We grew up on Spam, eggs, and rice. Once a month, my mom would buy us a deep dish of pizza, and that was our splurge, and that was the best thing in the world. I grew up with a big avocado tree, maybe 2 stories high, almost 3 stories high, and a big mango tree in our backyard. And I would during season, we would have about 10 avocados and 10 mangoes fall on the ground. And I would take all this and I would put it in plastic bags, and I would put it in like a little roly-poly thing, and I would put 50 cents on there, and I'd put at $1 on there on the big ones, and I'd go door to door knocking on doors to sell mangoes and avocado. My dad taught me about money and also taught me about script, how to write in like 1st grade. And so for many of you that know me and my handwriting, that's from my dad. And you see the entrepreneurial side of me, that's from my dad too. And you see the nurturing, community, going through tough times and still pulling it through, that's all from my mom. And so my father passed away when I was in 6th grade, and I had a really strong relationship with him, super strong. And I was there at the last moments. I can go into that later, and then my mom raised almost 3 or 4 of us teenagers all at the same time. And so that was extremely hard for her. And she did the very best that she could. But I remember those nights when she would cry in her room because his dad passed away. I remember those days when she would make dinner for us kids, and us kids was not very conscious of just dumb kids. So we ate the dinner, and then she came back in and she didn't have any dinner because we ate it all because we didn't think about her. And I remember her walking outside and sitting on the curb just crying and looking up. My dad just passed away, and how hard that was for her. At the same time, my mother never lost faith, ever. She always went to church, and she always prayed, and she always went to the temple, and she still goes to the temple, and she still serves in whatever capacity that she can. And time heals, and we all grow up. But at one point in time, she funded all 3 of us kids on the mission, LDS mission. I went to Eugene, Oregon South. My sister went to Marshallese Islands. And my brother went to Dominican Republic. Or it might be backwards. One of those things. But anyway, my single mom with 3 teenagers. My oldest sister got married and she ran off to somewhere, Arizona, I think. But yeah, my mom took us to football, all the sports, shuttled us back and forth, shuttled us to church, did it all by herself, prayed, kept her faith up, went through extremely hard times. She was a 1st grade elementary teacher, and I was in her class. So if you know anything about elementary teachers, their salary is not good at all. And so with that little salary, she made a home, and she was our protector bear, mama bear, and she took care of us and taught us all these principles. And my dad taught me these principles too. And my mom is still in Hawaii right now, doing her thing, dancing hula, going to temple and church, doing her thing. And kids are all grown now, been up and down through life. But yeah, where Ohana principles, where Ohana Connect came from, was from my father in Hawaii, and especially from my mother in Hawaii. And then as I grew up, I just have a lot of Native American, indigenous culture, friends, family, and I just grew up dancing Hawaiian, dancing Tahitian, chanting old Hawaiian. I get that stuff from my dad, pushed us into hula. And that's where I learned all these principles from. And so we're gonna take these principles, we're gonna put it inside of this book, and we're gonna share it with the Mount Shasta community, and the ripple effect, especially with this mountain, it will magnify worldwide. And so we know that if we can teach these principles of respect, of multi-generationals, of Ohana, of coming together, of never being left behind, of unity, of forgiveness, of protection, we know that it'll last. These are core principles. So that's how I answer the first question to the book. All right. Aloha.